Hi, welcome to another edition of From the Pavilion End. We are at the fag end of the England tour of India, which has been a fascinating one. India have won that series, inflicting the first series defeat of the Bazball era to Ben Stokes and Baz McCullum. But the fifth and final test will be played at a splendid ground of Dharmashala, and we are here to preview that test.
So our podcast is available on Spotify. Just search From the Pavilion End. We are also available on Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, and on YouTube Podcast. Please show your love by subscribing and following the podcast. And please like the episode and share it with your friends.
Welcome, Krishnendu. Welcome, Bikiran. So, first of all, Dharamshala, that place has had only one test before this. That was also in an iconic series, the decider of an iconic series, 2017 versus Australia. Again, a series that India almost seemed to have won against all expectations. One common theme that I find between that series and this one is that Virat Kohli played no role in this one and played minimal role. I mean, within the ground, that is. He was largely front and center of that series, but for as a batsman, he was pretty limited in that series. So, is that something, Krishnendu, that the series becomes closer, tighter when India's premier batsman of the last 10 years doesn't fire or is absent? Is that what happens?
Yeah, it's natural when you're missing the best batsman that in the team, you are going to struggle. Runs, it becomes a little more difficult to make up his presence. Virat Kohli, the batsman, is important, but Virat Kohli's presence on the pitch is important too because he brings certain kind of energy to the team that I can't see in most players.
Let's go straight into this Dharmshala match. I mean, nobody knows how the pitch will behave. There was a Ranji match 1 month back, and in that match, 36 out of the 40 wickets were taken by seamers. So if that template is followed, then it will be, a pacer's paradise. Plus, it's at a high altitude, so things will move around. We never know. I mean, like what an extra seamer will do. Um, England has announced its team, and England has not gone for an extra seamer unless you consider Captain Fantastic Ben Stokes as that hidden third seamer. India, of course, have never announced their team beforehand. It's for sure that Jasprit Bumrah is going to come back. Whether Akashdeep goes out or Kuldeep Yadav goes out, that is the question. But it seems like two pacers seems to be the way out. Krishnendu, what does that tell you about the pitch and the two teams' choices so far?
Conditions are going to be very cool as far as I know. But I saw a glimpse of the pitch today. I didn't see much green on the track that will actually help lateral movement. Maybe the conditions and there is forecast of rain. So if the weather is cloudy, the conditions is cool, the ball will swing around. But I don't see how you can drop Kuldeep Yadav after the last test match or Akashdeep, to be honest. If I have to play two seamers, I will play Bumrah and Akashdeep and maybe Siraj goes out of the team. And I would play Kuldeep because if anyone remembers, Kuldeep took those 4 wickets against Australia in the first innings in the 2017 test. Australia had a great start. They were like 100 odd for one. And then Kuldeep came in and he changed that with his bowling. So I think Kuldeep Yadav will play. I think we'll still go with 3 spinners. And if England is going with 2 seamers, so definitely England are not confident that ball will be swinging around much. And they are not playing the swing bowler, they're playing the seam bowler. Ollie Robinson is swing bowler, so he's not being played. Seam bowler is being played with Mark Wood. So I would say we'll go with 2 seamers and 3 spinners. And I think Siraj will go out and Bumrah.
Bikiran, given that this is the first time that Test cricket is being played in Dharamshala so early. I remember the last time it was played was almost at the end of March itself. This is like earlier than that. Um, how much of a stress do you think it will be if teams go in with 2 pacers and the ball starts seaming, swinging, and there's nobody to come in one change? I'm talking both of India and England.
I think 2 seamers will do the job in most of the cases in India. I don't know how the pitch will behave currently. As you mentioned that in 2017 against Australia, it was quite a brilliant surface. There was something for seamers, something for spinners as well, and then and if you stay on the wicket, then the runs will come as well. That was a fantastic pitch. I don't know how this pitch will behave, but I think 2 seamers will be more or less the enough. I don't think that there is any need of the third seamer. And Ben Stokes, I don't think that he will bowl. But if he bowls, then he can do the third seamer role easily. But I don't think so that he will bowl. So they are most likely to go with so they will go with Anderson and Wood as they have mentioned the team already. And India will go with Bumrah and Siraj. It will be very, very unfortunate if Akashdeep misses out, but I think they will go with Bumrah and Siraj, and that will be more than enough, I think, on Dharamshala.
In my opinion, if Ben Stokes bowls, then England is in trouble.
We will hold Krishnendu to that. I don't know whether Ben Stokes is feeling like breaking his pinky promise. But if Krishnendu says if Ben Stokes is bowling, then England is under trouble. One of the men who could put England under trouble could be Rajat Patidar. Cricinfo ran a full feature showing how Rajat Patidar has been one of the unluckiest batsmen in this series. He has 18 false shots in this entire series to be out 6 times. Okay, so his control percentage apparently is third after Shubman Gill and Dhruv Jurel. So he has better control percentage than even Jaiswal amongst Indian batsmen in this series. The other thing is that the guy just can't buy himself a run. Should Padikkal, who has also had a good series in the India A versus the England Lions, and is 8 years younger to Patidar, should he be making his debut in Dharamshala? The third angle to this debate between Patidar and Padikkal is that remember that this spot is going to be filled by one Virat Kohli whenever he comes back versus New Zealand. So, does natural justice mean that we give Patidar one more chance and let him another chance to fail? And then anyway, Kohli is coming back, so that's what is sorted. Or do we say that it's enough chances for him? So let's play Padikkal, and Padikkal can go on to be a future maybe a opener or even a number 3 for India if he does well here.
I think when I saw Patidar get out in the last innings, the fourth test match, I was convinced that he is not going to play again for India. But over the last week or so, I've been thinking about this. Like, this is a free hit for India. The series is won. Patidar, to be honest, the control percentages, stats tell you something, but stats don't tell you everything. If we take the final innings that he played, the first I think the first three out of the four, 2 out of 3 balls that he received from Hartley were half volleys, which could have been full tosses if he was using his feet. He basically forward defended 2 half volleys from Hartley. So basically, there is no confidence. This guy is completely lacking in confidence. I read that quick info article. There is a reason Patidar has been selected. I understand all that. But in my opinion, Padikkal should get an opportunity. But since this is a free hit, and if India loses its test match, not much is going to happen. India have already won the series. You can give Patidar one more opportunity. Like, to be honest, give him a longer rope to hang himself. Basically.
Correct. Bikiran, let me bring you another angle to it. I heard somewhere that Rajat Patidar is somebody who, and as an RCB fan, you would probably, agree to it, that he is somebody who likes the ball coming onto the bat. So in that way, he is
Dharamshala could suit him.
Ajinkya Rahane. And we all know Rahane has a better overseas record than an Indian record. In fact, in Indian conditions, Rahane is almost like, somebody who goes on to defend and gets out very easily. Dharamshala is probably one of those pitches which is closest to maybe, Sena condition that you will probably get. So, does it make another, case for Rajat Patidar, rather than Devdutt Padikkal to be played in Dharamshala in the 5th test?
Look, as Krishnanudra said that this is already a dead rubber almost. Apart from if we take aside the WTC points angle, it is a dead rubber as India have already won the 3-1. Although I feel that in Test cricket there is no such dead rubbers and all the matches should have some intensity and all that. That is fine. But if India loses this game, they would not lose anything as such. They will at max win. They will win the series 3-2 at least. So if they loses this game, there would not be any effect. But yeah, Rajat Patidar were given 3 test matches and he failed in all of those. So he has given already enough opportunities and he could not score. Even if the team management dropped him at Dharamshala, I would not blame the team management. Yeah, that Patidar's technique is actually quite a bit maybe more suited for the versus conditions, but he's understood there as well. So I will not comment much on it. But as you mentioned, then if the team management dropped him at Dharamshala, I would not blame the management. He has given the pair.
Patidar getting dropped would not be a surprise. We're saying he could get one more chance because there's absolutely nothing to lose here.
Just to be that famous Sanjay Manjrekar tweet regarding Virat Kohli, that give him one more chance just to be sure that he doesn't belong here. Maybe they will give him that one more chance.
One of the key angles of match starting tomorrow is that there's going to be 2 players who are going to play their 100th test match tomorrow in Dharamshala. If you look at it, this might be the season for playing 100 test matches. It was started off by Steve Smith, who had his 100 test match during the Ashes. Ben Stokes, who had his 100 test match in Ranchi. Tomorrow, there are 4 players who are going to play their 100 test match. New Zealand and Australia test match. There is Tim Southee and Kane Williamson who are going to reach their 100 test match. And in Dharamshala, it will be Ravi Ashwin and Jonny Bairstow who will be reaching their 100 test match. Fun fact here. Tomorrow, in the Australia-New Zealand match, Nitin Menon will be one of those umpires, and Nitin Menon was also one of the 3 umpires in all the tests where Virat Kohli, Joe Root, and Steve Smith had reached their 100th test match. So he will be the common factor in the 100th test match of the Fab Four. Coming back to Dharamshala, the 2 players that are reaching their 100 test match couldn't be much more different in terms of their achievement in the 99 test matches they have played before. Ravi Ashwin is one of three bowlers in Test cricket history who averages more than 5 wickets per Test match. Muthaiya Muralidharan, of course, averages 6 wickets per Test match, and then it's Ravi Ashwin, and then it's Richard Hadley. That's it. That's the list of three bowlers. My question to Bikiran is, where do you place Ravi Ashwin in terms of the great spinners that have come from India?
Look, actually, from the early days that India is known as a plethora of great spinners, but I don't think so. That is quite actually true. It is actually debatable and subjective. If we look at from the away records perspective, if you are going to give the away record a higher weightage than the home record, then India has produced only one off spinner, only one, sorry, not off spinner, only one great record in outside on the outside home, that is Shivas Gupte, and he played his last match in the 1960s cricket. So that is the thing basically. After in the last 50 or 60 years, no Indian spinner has been successful in the outside home conditions against the good opponents. One may say that Bishan Singh Bedi, Bhagwat Chandrasekhar, and Erapalli Prasanna and all that, Anil Kumble and all that, but their records were majorly boosted by the Mino teams and all. Mino teams or the Kerry Packer depleted Australia, particularly for Bishan Singh Bedi and Bhagwat Chandrasekhar and all. So this is the thing. If you look at it from the away records perspective, Ashwin's record is actually moderate. From compared to the other Indian greats from the past, Ashwin's record is actually moderate. It is not much improved, not much significant upgrade or something, not a downgrade. So basically, he did in overseas what his predecessors did as well, basically. And at home, from the longevity perspective, Ashwin is just fall short behind of Anil Kumble's great 619 wickets. And he is actually doing it for the 12 years, and he is the chief architect of making India the greatest home team of last decade. So from this perspective, Ashwin is actually a bona fide legend of this game. And remember that one may downplay his achievements at home by saying that dust balls and all that. But remember that India did not produce some dust balls from 2016 to 19. And on those pitches, Ashwin was phenomenal. Ashwin was actually phenomenal in those 2016 to 19 as well. For me, that Ravichandran Ashwin is actually ranked in top three, top two, at least in top two Indian spinners of all time. And
I'm not a fan of denigrating test cricketers who have taken more than 500 test wickets. Not a big fan. I don't speak out against these people because they can't roll their arm over for 2 balls. Forget 6. Yeah, taking wickets on Indian tracks for a spinner might be easier. But then only Ravi Ashwin and Anil Kumble are the two bowlers who have taken more than 500 test wickets in test cricket. We have seen number of spinners. We have seen Ashish Kapoor, Sarandeep Singh, Pragyan Ojha. Why have these people not even taken 200 test wickets? If playing in India is so easy, for spinners, why haven't we seen another spinner come out of Indian cricket in the last 10 years? Kuldeep Yadav is a recent phenomenon. Why haven't we seen another spinner come, and maybe when Ashwin is injured, when Ravindra Jadeja is injured, why haven't we seen another spinner come in and take those wickets? Ashwin started out with Pragyan Ojha. How many wickets did Pragyan Ojha take? If bowling on Indian tracks was so easy, Nathan Lyon is a great bowler. I have no doubts about it. But the problem is, you do not need to denigrate Ravichandran Ashwin to lionize Nathan Lyon. You can celebrate both cricketers.
Exactly.
This is a breaking news for people who try to denigrate people. You can actually celebrate two cricketers. You don't have to compare them. You don't have to denigrate them. You can actually celebrate multiple cricketers. You can. It's possible. It's not impossible. Wake up tomorrow morning and do it. Your tongue will not slip out. The earth will not crack open if you say, yeah, one more bowler is great, or 9 more batsmen are great. You can celebrate. Try it out tomorrow morning. Please do.
Yeah. Actually, my point is very simple. That if you celebrate Kumble or anyone, Kumble, Nathan Lyon, or James One or any XYZ or any other spinners, that absolutely fine for me. You can
If I
celebrate
say
any.
Graham Swan is one of the best off spinners I have watched, I'm not denigrating Ashwin or Lang. Swan was a great off spinner. If
Deserves
we
it.
have to celebrate one spinner for bowling in all kinds of conditions and taking wickets, there's only one cricketer, Shane Warne. And
One,
even
obviously,
then, he didn't take wickets in India. So Shane
India.
Warne becomes a lesser spinner? No.
I don't want to put this, discussion into, who is better, who is worse. I admire the fact that you can say that you can admire Ashwin and Leon. You will admire Ashwin if you understand the difficulties that Ashwin has conquered. You'll admire Leon if you admire the difficulties and also acknowledge the advantages that Leon has had. So both ways, it works both ways. Ashwin didn't have a 6 feet, 6.5 feet tall left arm fast bowler, not pace, fast bowler, creating foot marks for him.
Rough outside of it,
Ashwin,
yeah.
Ashwin didn't have three strong pace bowlers softening
That
up
of him.
the opponents, so much that a country like New Zealand is giving spinning pitches to Australia. So anyway, I don't want to go into that. For me, I think Ashwin and Kumble are the two greatest spinners that I have seen. I have not seen some of the other spinners. I liked what I saw of Maninder Singh, but he was a could have been scenario. Anil Kumble was India's first match winner. That's what I believe. And Ashwin has taken it to a next level.
People today celebrate Anil Kumble, but when Kumble was playing, these kind of shit he had to handle too. Same,
Yeah,
same indication.
Give that
Indian phenomena
blame.
where it is fun to poke fun at an Indian because he is being successful in India. So you only drive the celebrate a success if a foreigner has told, oh, this guy is good. Anyway, let's look at the other centurion and everybody that I've heard in the recent time in Talksport or in other chat shows are saying that Bairstow brings so much to the table, not just in the ground, but he's one of those boys that he makes others play well. He's been one of the poster boys of Bazball. Many of you do not know that Jonny Bairstow has made 4 trips to India. He was there in that iconic 2012 series, played in the Mumbai Test. He was there in the 2016 series, of course. He was there in the 2021 series. He is now here also. It's inevitable that he makes his 100th Test match in India against India. Krishandu, where do you place Bairstow as a middle order batsman who has made 4 trips to India? Longevity wise, talent wise, and performance against India wise, of course.
Longevity wise, of course, great. Four trips to India. But talent, yeah, Bairstow is a good stroke maker, but he's one of the most average middle order batsmen I've seen come to India in the last 10 years. He is a one trick pony. He cannot knuckle down when under pressure. I love you can score that beautiful 30-35, but it doesn't help your team in these conditions. In India, if you're a middle order batsman, if you're playing in the top 5, you need to get hundreds. And I don't see Bairstow. At least he has not done it in this series. I'm not aware of his record in the last 3, but he's probably one of the most. I have seen some great middle order batsmen come to India and score runs. Bairstow is not even in the top 15, top 10. Sure, top 10, top 15. No, it's not.
Let's flip that script. Bikiron, first test, Ollie Pope scored. Second test, Zach Crawley scored. Third test, Ben Duckett scored. By arithmetical progression, I had predicted in the 4th test, and of course, because Bumrah was absent, in the 4th test, Joe Root will score, and Joe Root did score. So the only spot left is number 5. Does that mean that Bairstow is going to have a great 100 test match?
Maybe, but I don't think so that he will score some runs that will travel India. He might score some 60 or 70 that might have some impact on that game, but that 60 or 70 is not going to travel India on the good pitches. If that is
probably
the
this kind of track, Bairstow can score runs if the ball is coming on to bat. This is the kind of track Bairstow will relish. But I don't think he he can play against the Indian bowling attack. The bowling attack India will have tomorrow. I don't think Bairstow can handle that.
Now focus on another narrative that is going around, which is basically that England has been so powerful and yet so unlucky to have lost this series 3-1. They could and probably
Should have
should
been
have
4-0.
deserved,
Should have been 4-0.
could and should have deserved. I mean, there is a narrative that is building up in the internet which says that England could
How
and
many
should.
false shots did Olipop played in that inning? 100.
That doesn't matter.
96.
That doesn't matter.
70 plus.
You should count the number of wickets that Hartley took. So basically, the narrative is that England doesn't deserve to have lost 3-1. It should have probably been 2-2, and then we would have had a greatest ever decider in the history of cricket. And Bazball deserves that. Bazball has tried to save cricket, has tried to inspire Indian youth to play aggressively. Bazball has reinvigorated has-been cricketers like Zach Crawley, Ollie Pope, Jonny Bairstow, and made them world beaters. Can Bazball revive itself after that Ranchi debacle? They're saying that if they lose 4-1, it will be as bad as that 2018 series in England where India also lost 4-1.
They lost the big moments. And if you're losing the big moments, you don't deserve anything.
I feel that in all this all this narrative, how Bazball has inspired England to play such aggressive cricket, how they have made this series so interesting, they are forgetting that India deserves as much credit for making this series interesting by leaving out so many players at so many different situations for so many different reasons. Come from paternity leave to injury to resting to somebody's mother being not well. Anything that you can think of has happened. Let me come quickly to Bikiron. Your predictions.
India will win.
It's a typical if we see a typical Dharamshala wicket, it's the most conducive conditions Bazball can get for Bazball to do well. Most conducive. But I think England will still find a way to lose this test.
That we will see a fifth day in this series.
The way England are batting, I don't think so.
Fifth test augurs for a lot of records. I don't know how many records will be filled in. Anderson is on 698 test wickets. Jaiswal is on the cusp of a whole host of records. I'm not even speaking about that. Bairstow is 26 runs off from scoring 6,000 runs in test cricket. Stokes starts bowling. Then Stokes could reach 200 test wickets with 3 more. And Jadeja is on the cusp of 300 test wickets. He is just 8 runs away. And if he scores a century and India wins, then he will become a unique holder of an all-round record.
If Bumrah takes 3 wickets in the next game, he will be the first pacer in this century, in this 21st century, first Indian pacer to take 20 wickets in a series in home.
I think that is most likely that will happen. So this has been a pretty late preview for a fifth test. I hope you still have time to watch it out. Do let us know how you like it. We will be back at the end of the test with the review for the action. Till then, keep watching. Thank you. It's been a pleasure bringing this episode to you. If you like this episode, please like and share it. Please also subscribe or follow our podcast.